This is our team video project for Accounting 4B. The topic that we will be focusing on this video is make or buy decision. Make or buy decision is when a company must decide whether to manufacture a component internally or buy it from an external supplier in order to maximize the profits margin. Also referred to as outsourcing decision, the make or buy decision compares the cost and benefits of both buying the materials from outside suppliers and making the materials internally, concluding if the company can lower its finance cost by manufacturing the items or buying the items from a supplier. Some companies manufacture all raw materials through to distribution of the completed goods. This is because of lower finance costs to make the materials instead of buying from suppliers who will sell the materials more expensive, or there aren't any suppliers who can provide the materials. By making the materials in-house, it also gives the companies control over the quality of the material used in the product. Not only that, if there's a crisis, the companies will always have a backup source of materials to ensure running material. Other companies would rather buy other parts and materials that are required to their finished product from outside suppliers. This is because it may be cheaper for them to buy instead of making the materials, or the companies do not have the experience to make the materials, or they do not have the capacity to produce in-house. Therefore, their only choice is to buy outside. Another reason why some companies buy from outside suppliers is because of legal formalities that prevent them from producing the materials. It is very important that when we are making make or buy decisions that we analyze which costs are avoidable if there are any, in order to maximize our profits, and also to see how avoiding this cost can benefit the business. As managers, we have to be able to forecast or estimate how much more profitable outsourcing can be versus manufacturing our own materials. Like already mentioned before, there are risks to outsourcing, but we have to analyze whether taking those risks could benefit or hurt the business. For example, if an organic restaurant decides to buy from a local supermarket, they may lose control over the quality of their products because their ingredients may or may not be 100% organic. In order to reduce cost, some businesses may choose to outsource or offshore, but these two terms mean different things. When a business outsources, they are not involved with the manufacturing process of the item directly. They are just paying someone else to perform a service for them. However, when a business offshores, they can perform tasks at a lower cost, but it's done overseas as stated in the book by Bruns and Tietz. On the next slide, we're going to have an example of a make or buy decision between Samsung and Apple. Hypothetical case. Apple is going to produce their next batch of 10,000 iPhones. They're currently deciding whether to keep purchasing the OLED screens they use on their iPhones from Samsung or whether they should produce it themselves. This is how much Apple would pay Samsung to purchase the 10,000 screens needed. The manager decides to estimate how much it would cost them to produce the screens instead, and this is what the manager came up with. To produce a product, they need direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, which includes both variable and fixed overhead. The total the manager came up with his estimate is $214,000. The manager had the accountant check his estimate, and this is what the accountant came back with. Notice that the fixed manufacturing overhead was reduced from $30,000 previously to $12,000, and that is because only 40% of the fixed overhead is relevant to this decision. Relevant costs are the costs that will differ based on the alternatives given. The fixed manufacturing overhead was reduced to only 40%, as the other 60% of the fixed costs are not relevant as they are unavoidable, because they would still pay those 60% whether they choose to manufacture the OLED screens or not. The total that the accountant came up with his estimate is $196. And looking at it, you would think that this means that Apple should just manufacture the OLED screens, because from this estimate, it looks like it's cheaper for them to manufacturing it when only relevant costs are accounted for. However, there would be an opportunity cost to producing these OLED screens. Opportunity cost is the benefit or profit foregone when another alternative is chosen. The opportunity cost in this case is what it would cost Apple to manufacture the 10,000 screens instead of manufacturing more MacBooks, iPads, Apple Watches, and other products they already produce. So in total, with opportunity cost accounted for, it would cost them $226,000 to manufacture 10,000 OLED screens. Looking at all the estimated values presented at this table, we can conclude that Apple should keep buying their OLED screens from Samsung because it is cheaper for them to purchase it than produce it themselves.